today's special installment of the Forward podcast, which I like to call Leadership Forward, I want to talk about 5 things that every executive should know. Number 1, every executive must know how to have integrity. Your word must be your bond. You must be a person who can be counted on to mean what they say and say what they mean. If your word is not your bond, what happens is that people lose trust in you, they lose confidence in you, and they will not follow you. The thing is that every executive has buck-stopping authority, and it is their responsibility to drive things from inception to actual execution. And in order to do that, you absolutely, positively must be a person of your word. You must have integrity. You need to know that. Number 2, know your why. I can't stress knowing why enough. One of the reasons why businesses fail, why relationships fail, why many things fail is because people don't understand the why. The why is the vision. The why is it's the burning desire that gets us up in the morning. The why is the thing that actually drives the who, the what, the when, and the where, and the how. If you don't have why, if you don't understand what your purpose, we absolutely have to be purpose driven. And not just purpose driven, but part of the why is being vision driven. You have to be able, as an executive, to cast a vision, something that people can see even when they can't actually see it. This is a huge, huge thing. And I think that in a lot of cases, we miss it. But if you understand why and you're able to articulate it, you will be a leg up on your competition. Number 3, you need to create a culture. Creating a culture simply is this, that basically your culture is what differentiates you from other competitors or other departments or anything. Basically, your culture is a reflection not only of you, but it's a reflection of the character and the nature of everyone that's involved. What you need to do is you need to basically put together something, create a cultural paradigm that is inclusive, but it also ties back to the why, that it ties back to the vision. The culture must be the sum total of the personalities involved in a project, involved in a corporation, involved in a business that is tied to the vision. So in other words, what you're doing is you're understanding what people's concerns are, what their inputs are, what their contributions are, and you are dovetailing all of that into the vision. That is the genesis of culture. Got to have culture. Number 4, be realistic. Listen, pie in the sky just simply doesn't work. It can't work. And one of the things that we see in business a lot, in the software business especially, we hear this term called vaporware. In other words, it's something that it's in our mind, it's on paper, but it hasn't been executed yet. And many times what we call vaporware is exactly that, simply because it isn't realistic. I like to go back to the paradigm of SMART goals, that things are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. These are the goals that we want to have, but we have to be absolutely realistic that this is something that's attainable. And sometimes you may start out with the best of intentions, and you may get down far enough down the path and realize that this may not work. Well, in that case, it's time to reset expectations. And that brings me to point number 5. You must be a communicator. If you are an executive, you must be able to communicate. And that's not just getting up and being able to give a polished speech or to be able to do an interesting video. It's also listening. You have to be not only a good talker, but you have to be a good listener. In fact, I would say listen twice, speak once. Just like measure twice, cut once. It's the same principle. Make sure that you are gathering as many data points as you can by listening to your customers, listening to your charge, listening to your stakeholders, and understanding where everyone is coming from and how best to fit all of this together to tie it back again to the vision. Because you have to be able to cast a vision, but you can have a vision in your mind and not be able to communicate it, in which case your vision may be it may not come to pass. At any rate, these are the 5 things that I can think of. I'd like to know what you think. Did I miss anything? Are these things spot on? And I know that there are always many more things. I'm just trying to keep it simple. But in the meantime, I would love to hear your feedback. Love to get your comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'd love to catch you in the comments below. Like to find out what your thoughts are on this. At any rate, I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you on the other side of Forward.